Some footballers spend their entire lives chasing greatness. Others seem destined for it from the very beginning. Kylian Mbappé belongs to the second group. Before he became a World Cup winner, before he became one of the most expensive footballers in history, and before millions of fans around the world celebrated his goals, he was simply a young boy from Bondy, a small suburb on the outskirts of Paris. Every evening, while most children returned home after school, Mbappé stayed outside with a football at his feet. The streets of Bondy became his first stadium, and every game he played brought him one step closer to a dream that almost everyone considered impossible. Kylian Mbappé was born on December 20, 1998, into a family where sport wasn't just entertainment, it was a way of life. His father, Wilfried Mbappé, worked as a football coach, while his mother, Faiza Lamoury, represented France as a professional handball player. Growing up in such an environment meant discipline, sacrifice, and competition became part of his daily routine. From an early age, his parents noticed something different about him. He wasn't satisfied with simply winning against children his own age. He constantly challenged older players because he wanted to improve as quickly as possible. Even as a child, Mbappé admired one footballer more than anyone else, Cristiano Ronaldo. His bedroom walls were covered with posters of the Portuguese superstar wearing the famous white shirt of Real Madrid. Every night before going to sleep, he imagined himself playing in packed stadiums, hearing thousands of fans chant his name. To many people, those dreams seemed unrealistic, but Mbappé never doubted himself. He believed that if he worked harder than everyone else, one day those dreams would become reality. At just 6 years old, Mbappé joined AS Bondy, the local club where his father coached. It didn't take long before everyone realized they were watching a special talent. His speed was unlike anything the coaches had seen before. Defenders struggled to keep up with him, while goalkeepers could only watch as the ball repeatedly found the back of the net. Every weekend, scouts from different clubs traveled to Bondy hoping to witness the young prodigy for themselves. Before long, the biggest academies in France were competing to sign him. Instead of rushing into one of France's biggest clubs, Mbappé chose AS Monaco, believing it would give him the best opportunity to develop. The decision proved to be one of the smartest of his career. Monaco had built a reputation for trusting young players, and Mbappé quickly rewarded that faith. In December 2015, at only 16 years old, he made his professional debut, becoming one of the youngest players in the club's history. Although he was still a teenager, he showed incredible confidence every time he stepped onto the pitch. He played without fear, attacked defenders directly, and never looked intimidated by experienced professionals. The 2016-17 season completely transformed Europe. His explosive acceleration, intelligent movement, and calm finishing helped Monaco challenge Paris Saint-Germain for the Ligue 1 title. Against some of Europe's strongest teams in the UEFA Champions League, Mbappé was already one of Europe's deadliest attackers. By the end of the season, Monaco had won the French league title, ending PSG's dominance, while Mbappé had become the most exciting young footballer on the planet. Every major club wanted to sign him. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester City, and Paris Saint-Germain all entered the race. The football world waited to see where the teenage sensation would go next. In the summer of 2017, the answer finally arrived. Paris Saint-Germain completed a deal worth around 180 million euros, making Kylian Mbappé one of the most expensive players in football history. At only 18 years old, the pressure was enormous. Millions expected him to fail under such a huge price tag, but Mbappé wasn't afraid of expectations. He was ready to prove that this was only the beginning of something truly legendary. Kylian Mbappé's move to Paris Saint-Germain was more than just a transfer. It was a statement. At only 18 years old, he carried the weight of a 180 million euros price tag on his shoulders. Critics questioned whether any teenager could justify such an enormous investment, but Mbappé didn't let the pressure change him. Instead, he used it as motivation. Every training session, every match, and every goal became another opportunity to prove that Paris Saint-Germain had made the right decision. Within months, he had become one of the club's most important players. His incredible pace terrified defenders, his finishing became more clinical, and his confidence continued to grow. Season after season, Mbappé helped PSG dominate French football, winning multiple Ligue 1 titles while breaking record after record. Before long, he became the club's all-time leading goal scorer, surpassing some of the biggest names in PSG history. But while Mbappé was conquering France, an even greater challenge awaited him on the international stage. In 2018, he traveled to Russia as part of France's FIFA World Cup squad. Although France had many experienced stars, it was the 19-year-old Mbappé who became the tournament's biggest surprise. His unforgettable performance against Argentina in the round of 16 changed everything. His British talent. The dream continued all the way to the World Cup final against Croatia. With millions watching across the globe, Mbappé scored once again, becoming only the second teenager in history after the legendary Pelé to score in a FIFA World Cup final. France defeated Croatia 4-2 and lifted the most prestigious trophy in football. At just 19 years old, Mbappé had already achieved what many footballers spend an entire career chasing. Overnight, he became a global superstar. Children copied his celebrations, wore his jersey, and dreamed of becoming the next Kylian Mbappé. Returning to PSG as a World Cup champion only increased expectations. Alongside Neymar and later Lionel Messi, Mbappé formed one of football's most exciting attacking trios. Together, they produced unforgettable moments, winning domestic trophies and entertaining millions of supporters around the world. Yet despite dominating French football, one prize remained out of reach: the UEFA Champions League. Every season, PSG entered the competition as one of the favorites. But disappointment followed year after year. Critics questioned whether Mbappé should stay in Paris or finally chase his childhood dream elsewhere. Then came the FIFA World Cup in Qatar in 2022, one of the greatest tournaments of Mbappé's career. France once again reached the final, where they faced Lionel Messi's Argentina. It quickly became one of the greatest World Cup finals ever played. As France struggled to keep up, Mbappé refused to surrender. He scored twice in just 90 seconds to bring France back into the game. During extra time, he completed an incredible hat-trick, becoming the first player in decades to score 3 goals in a World Cup final. Although France eventually lost on penalties, Mbappé walked away with the Golden Boot as the tournament's top scorer. Even in defeat, the football world applauded his extraordinary performance. Many believed they had just witnessed one of the greatest individual performances in football history. For years, however, another story continued to follow him. Since childhood, Mbappé had dreamed of wearing the famous white shirt of Real Madrid. Pictures of a young Mbappé standing in his bedroom, surrounded by Cristiano Ronaldo posters, became famous around the world. Every transfer window brought fresh rumors linking him with the Spanish giants. Fans waited year after year, wondering whether football's biggest transfer would finally happen. Eventually, that dream became reality. Mbappé completed his long-awaited move to Real Madrid, joining the club he had supported since childhood. It wasn't simply another transfer. It was the completion of a journey that had begun years earlier in the small streets of Bondy. The little boy who once imagined himself playing at the Santiago Bernabeu had finally arrived. Now, new expectations awaited him. Wearing the Real Madrid shirt meant competing for the Champions League every season, fighting for Ballon d'Or titles, and carrying the responsibility of one of football's greatest clubs. Today, Kylian Mbappé is no longer just the talented youngster from Bondy. He is a World Cup winner, one of the greatest forwards of his generation, and an inspiration for millions of young footballers around the world. His story proves that talent can open doors, but only discipline, sacrifice, and relentless hard work can keep them open. From the streets of Bondy to the biggest stadiums in the world, Mbappé has shown that dreams really can become reality. And although he has already achieved more than most players ever will, many believe the greatest chapter of his incredible journey is still waiting to be written.